Okay, so I'm gonna get right into this because I have put off streaming a little too long for my own liking. Okay, why is it not showing up? Let me see here. I have it set to Monster Hunter Wild still. And here we go. Maybe. There we go. Okay. I don't know how much longer we have in this game. I am enjoying it, but I really want to finish it up so I can play more games on stream. Maybe if I just did longer strings more consistently, I'd be done with it by now. But, you know. Make your creator proud. Okay, so last time we looked at all of these little side stories and whatnot, which was pretty fun. But now we're going to... Oh, interesting. But now we're going to finish up the main story, hopefully, or at least get into the next chapter of it. I don't know what's going on, what's going to happen, but apparently involves this creepy tree. Okay. Okay. Day 2, 10 p.m., the terminal. Hello? Ah, what was that? I said, can I get 2 lattes? Yeah, sure thing. Audible silence. You want those takeaway or not? Free here, please. Go take a seat. I'll bring it over. What the fuck? Who broke something? Audible silence. Yeah, crap. You right, mate. Yeah, all good. I should really get Ashley to do this. Sorry, what? Nothing, just talking to myself. Alright. Ugh. Where's the broom? Ashley, where's the broom? Ashley? I need a hand. Come help me. More groaning. Come on, I've got to find a broom. Even louder groaning. Atta girl. Oh, she found it. What? That's an oar. That's not a fucking broom. Holy shit. Ow. Hey, are any of your friends around? Probably. Uh-oh. Ah. When did you teach them to do that? I didn't. That one's just weird. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, that one's actually was made from the soul of a crab, apparently, so... I think. Maybe that's the other one. I forget. Anyway. How you doing, kiddo? Sleep deprivation's kicking in. Sometimes I feel like nobody ever sleeps in this cafe. Except Kashan. He has slept a lot while he's been here, hasn't he? It's because you keep getting him drunk. What? I haven't done that once. No, not you. I mean, you. So, not me at all, but Maddie and Ned. Gotcha. Those brigands. You're telling me? How's Maddie doing? Well... Whew. How close are we to being done? Fairly close. I'm not super worried about getting it done without Ashley either. Rad. Anyway, what were you saying? Oh, just that I think I understand everything now. And? That's all. Well, I appreciate your restraint in not generously supplying me with your moral take on it. No worries. Don't want to be that guy. Dang, I'm actually going to miss you once you're gone. Wow, those are some honest feelings. Are those some honest feelings coming from you? Doth thy icy facade crack? The correct word there is dost, and please don't make me take it back. I guess you really got into the whole boatman of the river Styx thing, huh? Slow walking. Is that what you think I am? Kind of, yeah. Interesting. Do you not feel that way? I don't know if the metaphor is that accurate, but I can see why you draw parallels. This place serves as more of, an entrance? You don't have to come here on your way to the next place, but it's on the route, for sure. Just a stopping point on the highway to hell? I'm sorry, we don't allow AC/DC references in here anymore. Well, I tried. Maybe less on a highway and more just, in a brochure to the Empyrean. I have no idea what that word's supposed to mean. You want to get real fancy with the wording, that is. An entrance to heaven? Very roughly speaking, yeah. But hell, I haven't seen the other side, so I can't even say that for sure. I'm fairly certain there's something there, though, which, I don't know. I can take comfort in that, I guess. I can take comfort in that, I guess. Well, speaking of comfort, how are you feeling? Like every particle in my body is slowly moving away from every other particle in my body. Audible silence. That was rather eloquent. What use is feeling pain if you can't find a fun way to describe it? He is literally coming apart at the seams because he's been here between life and death for too long. Or, well, on the borders of death, anyway. My head freaking hurts. It sucks and stuff. I keep telling you the painkillers will take effect in a few... minutes. I'm not gonna stop yelling about it until they do. You know, some philosophers believe that experiencing pain is one of the best ways to make sure you know you're alive. That sounds fake. Which philosophers? Famous ones? Oh my gosh, you're actually just making it up. Possibly. You could have sold it better. Say that some famous singer said it instead. Cross that generational gap. You gotta appeal to the kids. I feel like every time I do that, I just end up looking like one of those old guys who's afraid of the wide-ranging societal shifts. Societal shifts. I mean, you are old. I'm not. You're like 6,000 years old. You gotta give me this one. Fine. How's your head feeling? It still sucks. How about we grab a drink and go sit outside? It's nice and cool out there. Do I have to? Yep. This fucking crazy factory bullshit is just still too cool. How are you feeling now? Better, marginally. Come on, I'm sure the drink isn't hurting. What even is this? I put 6 sugars in it? Ah, you know me so well. So how are things at home? Meh. What's that translated to old people language? Things are normal, I guess. Mom's nearly done with her PhD. That sounds good. It is, probably. But she's pretty busy, so that means we're stuck eating microwave dinners at night. Ah, that explains why you barely left this place since last week. I mean, I'd be here anyway. True. You did ask her, right? What, if I could be here? Yeah, I don't want to invoke her wrath, do I? She doesn't worry about me being here. You remember when she talked to Maddie about liquor licensing laws, right? I think it was more of a lecture than a conversation. After all, Maddie wasn't doing anything wrong aside from letting you hang out around after hours. I'm still amazed that Maddie didn't just tell her that we're not technically subject to the regulations since we're not registered with anyone but the council. She made the right choice. That would have been an ugly argument. But anyway, she's fine with me being here. She's got my mobile number, and as long as I respond to her check-in, she's not gonna come and get me. Good. I wouldn't want to worry her. Ah, wonderful. Ugh. Hmm? My arm will get wet. Ah, don't worry about it. We can dry it off inside. Just try and enjoy the rain. Okay. I was joking about fake philosophy earlier, but I really do think it is important to take a moment to enjoy things when you can. Rain can feel oppressive. It can stop you from going outside, doing the things you enjoy. There's nothing like the smell of rain before sunrise. Petrichor? Petrichor. Yeah, it's faintly magical. Did I ever tell you that? Only about 100 times. Huh. I can hear it 101 times. It's okay. Alright, I'm actually getting kind of wet. Let's head in. So given the fact that I'm very obviously a dork with a bleeding heart, it's definitely safe to assume that I've let people other than you stay longer than they're technically allowed. You're so emotionally repressed that I never could have guessed It's actually impressive. Well, you know, we all have our ways of coping with persistent extreme stress. Millennial things. Yep. But yes, I do understand how you feel. The separation, the difficulty keeping your thoughts together, the base level feeling that something's slightly askew, and the fact, not the feeling, that your time is up. Never loved facts. Me neither. Honestly, I think it feels like having a cold, just without any of the physical symptoms. I guess that description works too. It's not quite as compelling as the one about your particles being repulsive, though. Oi, that's definitely not what I meant by that one. Isn't it? It's about time. I can't believe I created these beautiful creatures and you turn them into dumb waiters. Alas, such is life. We gotta pay rent somehow, considering how many cups they drop. That's a feature, not a bug. It's to make them seem more alive. You've taught them to intentionally drop coffee cups in the name of verisimilitude? Maybe? I'm gonna get Maddie to start ordering cheaper cups. See, I'm promoting efficiency in our procurement. Oh my god. I'm promoting efficiency in our procurement cycles. There we go. I hate whoever gave you that management book. I'm sensing some hostility. Do I need to talk to HR? Who's our human resources manager? I'm sure it's very good at its job, just not at bussing coffee. Ah, Maddie wants us downstairs. Oh, I suppose she's done setting up. I'm glad she was able to do it without me. Gosh, so proud. Taught her everything I know. You're a gremlin, you know that? Of course. Shall we? Loading screen, loading screen, loading screen. Bop, 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 bop. Alright, here we go. This seems very familiar. Day 3, 12 a.m., basement. Is this Che talking? I think it must be. It's too bloody damp down here. Oh no, is that Kashan? Okay, it is Kashan. I know we're underground, but I don't suppose there are any windows we could open. There's a ventilation duct in here somewhere. Maddie, Mind opening up to get some fresh air circulating? Yeah, this is like what the game opened up on, I think. The other end's blocked right now. There's a dumpster sitting on top of it. I'll have to grin and bear it. Can we hurry this up? We've done this before, old man. You know it takes a while to set up. I don't appreciate your tone. Audible silence. Sorry. At the very least, can we turn some lights on? With all the crap you've got scattered around the place, I'd like to at least know where I'm planting my feet, where I'm putting my feet. Ashley, would you mind? Click. That's maybe not exactly how it was in the first, in the opening scene. This is like the second experiment they're doing, so I think. Maybe. Thanks. Audible silence. You're more organized than last time, I see. Practice makes perfect. Now, this is the same scene from earlier. Hey, Maddie. How much more wire do we need? Well, I think that's enough. Great. Now? Che? What's up, little P? I found you a chair. Aw, thank you. So, this whole thing. Surely it's not legal, yeah? Yes, the council found it confronting. For good reason, I suppose. Because it utterly upsets the natural order. Mate. It's not just bureaucracy. Shush you. Most rules can be bent, after all. And Maddie has a particular fascination with breaking rules. Hey, don't give her all the credit. Bah. Is this related to her gambling for time? So, the transfer was the same sort of magic we're doing now, yes. The council successfully suppressed all available information about it, though. For good reason. What happens if something goes wrong? Well, you don't tend to mess it up more than once. Or try again after you fail, for that matter. What do you even call this sort of magic, then? Question's irrelevant. Because it's banned. Extremely cool? That's what I call it. Well, by definition, it's a conduit ritual. But hey, we're among friends, so we can call it what it really is. Necromancy. All those hours are in this tree. Why'd you hoard the hours here instead of using them to pay off your debts? Why would I use them to pay off a debt? I could use them to save a life instead. Why would I use them to pay off a debt if I could use them to save a life instead? Oh, shit. Alright. How can I help? Whose life is she trying to save? Will the subject please step forward? Che's life, huh? Council Gazette. We regret to inform you of the passing of Che Wu, a beloved fixture in the Australian alchemical community and owner of the terminal. As an innovator in alchemy and material spellcraft, and as a friend to anyone and everyone who walked through his doors, he will be missed. He's been dead this whole time. Interesting. And somehow, like 2,000 years old, he's been dead for quite a while. Or maybe they keep restoring his life with the tree here. You ready to do this again? Sure. Try not to kill me this time? Cool. Ashley, let's do this. Ready when you are. I hate this. You have reservations? It's unnatural to store hours in a non-sentient being like that. You can still feel pain, and this is a very painful process for everyone involved. Yeah? Yeah. Guess it's time for us to watch the show. Let's see how badly this can go wrong. Yay. Calcination. Solution. Separation. Conjunction. Putrefaction. Congelation. Congelation. Sebation. Sublimation. Fermentation. Exaltation. Multiplication. Projection. Conjunction. Good enough. Ashley, everything's nominal on my end. We're looking good, so let's get started. Increase power to 80%. Sebation. Audible silence. Holding steady. Cool. Next segment. Activating. How we doing? It's going fine. Conjunction's about halfway open. Just concentrate. Ooh, I don't like that red. Having some issues here. Hey, we need more power. Yeah, ramping it up. I don't know if this will melt our conduits, though. Oh, crap. Yep, our conduits are definitely melting. Ashley, language. Fuck. Bypass it. I can patch the wires, but I don't know what else I can do that now. On it. Or on it. There we go. How close are we to finishing this libation? We're about 90%. Shit. 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 Are we gonna try again? I think I have to reinforce the wires. That'll fix it. Yes. We'll keep going until we make it through. Do or die. Reset then, and start again. Calcination. Separation. Conjunction. Libation. Why are they trying so hard to save his life? Ugh, not again. Just a couple seconds more. And you've got it. Oh shit, they're doing it. Yes. Beginning sublimation. Sublimation. You've got this, Maddie. What's next? We've opened the connection now, and now all I've got to do is transfer the time. How are you feeling, Chai? I don't know. Che? Ooh, that's not good. Sublimation. Now. Okay, we won't stop. We've gotten this far. Not giving up now, damn it. Maddie? Can't hold on to it. It's slipping out of my fingers. Energy levels are dropping again. See if we can keep it going for just a few more moments. Rerouting. Shit. Didn't work, did it? We could try it again? I don't plan on stopping. I think the conduit's only gonna last one more go, though. Then it's kaput. And maybe you're kaput, too. I don't know. Shit. Alright, Ashley, take your position again. We'll get it this time. Stop. Just stop. No, I've nearly got it, I swear. You are not going to bring me back. No. I've humored this enough. You've done your best. But this task is beyond you. I need to move on. And it's time to make your peace with this instead of trying to pervert the natural course of things. You never asked me if I wanted to stay. You just made that choice for me, and hurt yourself and everyone around you in the process. Fuck, man. Jesus. Let me leave. Interesting. What's going on there? I feel like we're almost at the end of this game. Maybe we can power through it. We will see. Robot dance, robot dance, robot dance. Jacoby, you are a goddamned bin chicken is what you are. What? No way. Crabs don't eat sushi or garbage. You don't know that. Yeah, well, you know what does eat sushi and garbage? Brachiosaurus maluka, otherwise known as the Australian bin chicken. We find that term offensive. We are actually white ibises. Ha. Incriminating yourself there. I'd expect nothing less from a bin chicken. Damn it. Okay, so, moving on. Classic misdirection. No, seriously, did you two see what happened back there? Yeah, that was rough. And yes, that thing with the ritual was also tough to watch. You weren't there when Che died, but... I remember. They just behaved like nothing had happened. Oh? My impression was that neither of them had ever remotely considered the possibility of failure. Idiots. Yes, but we were only here because of them, so we should be respectful. It seems to me like nobody in this cafe really seems to think things through. Yep. This place has a weird effect on people. Too much magic in the air, maybe. Who knows? Will they be okay? I don't know how I'd forgive something like that. Being kept here against my will while my very essence breaks down. That is what I believe kids these days call a party foul. Honestly, I don't know. I think Maddie probably has some self-reflection to do. Holy fuck. So she's just been blah, 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 blah. So that time debt, it's all from Che, or most of it's from Che. Just holding him there. Pair of saps, aren't we? Okay. Let's see if we can get one more episode in. Or maybe we'll just finish up with reading all these whatever side stories have popped up here. So we got a knife thingy. We've got the AC unit, whatever that is. And we got that. Yeah, we're probably going to read these three and then probably quit for the night. Maybe tomorrow I'll try and do a long stream from starting from when I get home. It's like I have a lot of time on my hands after work. It's just, things don't really get quiet until now, and then I have to, sleep very shortly after that, so it's kind of a raw deal. Anyway, judgment number 2. Ned leaned with his back against the counter, resting both his elbows on the surface behind him. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't lean on my counter, said Maddie. Your counter? Yes, it is my counter, said Maddie. So please don't lean on it. Ned laughed. People lean on this counter all of the time. Customers lean on this counter. You're not a customer. What if I ask for a drink? Then am I a customer? You reserve the right to refuse service to anyone, so no, simply requesting a drink will not make you a customer. A man with long, thin arms approached the counter. Can I get 2 lattes, 1 vanilla and 1 with soy milk? You've got it, said Maddie. We'll have that right out for you. Thanks, said the thin man, who took a seat at the table near the entrance. Maddie preoccupied herself with making the drink. Hey, Che, said Ned. Che looked up. Do you ever feel like what you all do here is insignificant? Said Ned. Running the terminal? Making drinks, said Ned. You know, there's more to life than creature comforts. I enjoy a coffee as much as the next guy, but it's not good to get too pampered. I'm not sure that enjoying a nice drink is what I call pampering, said Che. If I had my choice between a pampered life and an unpampered one, I'd definitely pick the former. I say that as someone who's known what it's like to lead an unpampered life. Suppose so, said Ned. I just think that overindulging in creature comforts will be the downfall of civilization. Not that I'd have a problem with that. Civilization is pretty overrated as it is. I don't think that lattes are fueling the collapse of society, said Che. One might even say that the ability to walk into a cafe, ask for a drink, and have it made to order is civilization. You know what it's like to live in a world without air conditioning, said Ned. So do I, shouted Maddie from across the room. Wasn't talking to you, said Ned. And no, living in an apartment with no AC is not the same as living in a world without air conditioning. Because when you lay in bed at night, you know at any time you could go out and buy a window unit. Not sure what your point is, said Che. Of course you don't, said Ned. Neither did the Romans. It didn't stop them from getting invaded. I know you're not that old, said Che. Don't have to be old when you've got books, said Ned. And these books had a chapter about how the Romans were caught completely unaware in air-conditioned cafes while sipping on lattes as invaders came to destroy their way of life. Precisely, said Ned. They were sitting indoors with the windows closed and couldn't hear the barbarians streaming into their lands. One moment you're sitting down in a recliner, next you've got the spear through your chest. Che raised his eyebrows in a way that gave the impression of someone who had just rolled his eyes without wanting to invest the effort of having to roll his eyes. I think I'll take the recliner, and when I wind up with a spear in my chest, you can come laugh at me, said Che. Sure, said Ned. Like I said, I've got no dog in this fight. I'm not offering advice, just judgment. You can go on doing whatever you want, and I'll keep thinking less of you for it. Che glared at Ned. Yeah, said Ned. Not that I judge you, you know what it's like to have had a hard life. I can tell from the calluses on your hands. You don't get those by accident. Ned lowered his voice and glanced at Maddie. But here, you and I both know that kids these days... Che grabbed Ned by the scruff of the neck and jerked him violently before softly speaking directly into his ear. Don't ever try to judge her, Ned. You don't know the first thing about what she's been through. She let go of Ned's collar, but not before giving him a violent tug. Fine, I get it. You're protective, said Ned. Not everyone here is like your little protege. Like Mr. Scrawny over there. He jerked his thumb in the direction of the thin-armed man who was awaiting his lattes. Same thing goes for him, said Che. What do you know about what he's been through? Who are you? Oh wait, what do you know about what he's been through? Who are you to judge? Ned raised his hands defensively. Well, I'm just saying, there are times aren't what they used to be. You're right, times aren't what they used to be, said Che. And do you know what I've learned from being around for quite a while? It doesn't get easier. I get stronger, but life doesn't get easier. So kindly fuck off with any of your with any of your kids these days bullshit. Sheesh, said Ned. You know, as old soul school, you're no fun to commiserate with. Sorry to be a disappointment, said Che. He stood up and started to walk away. It's odd, said Ned, not looking up. Che stopped and turned to him. What is? To see you give so much of a fuck, said Ned. Thought you had no fucks left to give. I have fucks left to give, but they're not as plentiful as they used to be, said Che. So I have to save them for things I care a lot about. I was just bullshitting, you know, said Ned. Taking the piss out of everyone is supposed to be a recreational pastime. I was just working with material in front of me. You were right about one thing, said Che. About our society being overrun with invaders who destroy our way of life. Well, that's quite an about-face. Che placed an arm around Ned and pointed at Maddie. Invader. He pointed at two 20-somethings chatting in the corner. Invaders. He pointed at an ashling scuttling across the floor. Tools of the invaders. The world used to belong to the likes of you and me, and now it doesn't. Every generation, a new generation comes, bringing their new ways with them, invading our world. Folks like you and I, we're the ones who have to worry about being caught unawares. Because pretty soon, the world is going to belong to people like them. In fact, I think that the day may have already come, and we just haven't realized it yet. Cripes, said Ned. You make it sound so apocalyptic. Funny, said Che. I thought I was being optimistic. That is really cool. So, what they're doing there is basically deconstructing that whole, oh, these kids these days are too soft, they got avocado toast, whatnot. You know, when ignoring that, people these days do not have it very good. You know, can't afford a home on 80 hours, on 80 hour, or like, you know, 40 hours a week, you know, can't afford a home, even working full-time, you know, much less, you know, insurance, and, you know, forget about, you know, creature comforts like cable, electricity, and whatnot, especially not a single salary. And yeah, you know, makes raising families difficult. You know, you try and go out and get a degree, get all the student debt with the promise of a good, well-paying career to pay it off, and it doesn't pan out. You know, you go into game development, and you just get fired, you know, after you make a successful game, and, you know, so on and so forth. It's all sorts of crazy bullshit. But yeah, I think a lot of what we're saying, you know, these days is kind of a result of this fossilized mentality that, I don't know, people demanding better is them demanding more than they deserve. Anyway, that's enough of that bleak topic. Let's see what else we have to look at. That was one. I think there was two, Beth 3. Okay. What the hell is going on down here? As Maddie descended the stairs, the huddle broke, revealing a girl sitting on the floor, looking dazed. The man leaning over her spoke. Beth, are you... I'm fine, said Beth, swinging her arms around, clearly only barely aware of her surroundings, but aware enough that she didn't want to give off the appearance of not being completely in control of the situation she was in. Maddie got down on the floor next to her. You're bleeding. Beth touched the back of her head, then looked down at the pool of blood. Sorry, I must have fallen and hit my head. Maddie looked up. You, big guy. Go upstairs and ask Che for an ice pack. She helped Beth sit up. You can see okay? Yeah, said Beth. Just a little dizzy. Maddie inspected the wound on the back of her head. Doesn't look deep, just broke the skin. Good news, kid. No permanent brain damage for you today. Beth apparently had enough control of her senses to roll her eyes. Lucky me. Of course, I'm questioning whether you weren't already brain damaged, so I'm guessing those two knives on the floor have something to do with your present condition. Maddie looked up at several members of the crowd that was sitting by, nervously and passively, watching. Am I wrong? She paused. Not hearing any denials? Come on, people. Two actual rules, and you managed to break both of them in one night. The man Maddie had sent upstairs came back down with an ice pack. She requested... Che said he could bring the first aid if... Not necessary, said Maddie. Here, she said, handing the ice pack to Beth. Hold that against the back of your head. Well, I'm not sure if it does anything to blood flow, but at least numb the area. Why would I want it to be numb? Better than being in pain, said Maddie. And again, I am talking to someone who just decided that a fun way to spend an evening would be trying to avoid the wrong end of a steak knife. Maddie scanned the rest of the group. Anyone else have any wounds? Don't hide them if you do. It's just me, said Beth. No one even got cut. No one's going to get cut, said Maddie, looking up and speaking to the crowd. Come on, people. Well, I don't care who you are. As long as you're here, you have real blood, and I can't have you bleeding all over my floor. You can't just wash blood stains out of a wood floor. Maddie pointed to the staircase. I think you should all find something else to do. You can stick around upstairs, but if you cause any trouble, we do have ways of removing you, and no one wants that. Some of you, this might be your last night here. Don't force us to put it to a swift end. Everyone shuffled towards the staircase, including Beth, who had managed to stand up. Maddie grabbed her by the arm. Not you. You're not moving until that wound on the back of your head stops bleeding. It already has, said Beth. Let me see, said Maddie, examining the wound. Sit back down. Beth obeyed and took a seat, cross-legged on the floor. Maddie crouched next to her and began cleaning and dressing the wound. Why do you do this? Said Maddie. Beth countered Maddie's question with one of her own. Why do you have a fight club that's so formalized that there are rules posted on the wall? I understand why people do it in general, said Maddie. People spend time without a physical body, and when they get it back, they want an adrenaline rush. Want some kind of thrill. What I want to know is why you? Why does a girl who looks like she can't be older than 16 years old want to get into blood sports? You don't know what it's like, said Beth. Well, I know what it's like to be a teenage girl, said Maddie, but I never felt the urge to start getting into fights with men twice my size. Beth turned away. You don't know what it's like to want to feel something, said Beth. To feel so numb that you want to cry and then to be unable to cry. You just feel nothing. That's what it's been like for me. I just wanted to feel something. Just wanted to feel like I was alive for a change. Spoiling for a dose of pain to escape the numbness, said Maddie. I'd agree if you didn't say it condescendingly like that. Getting punched not enough pain for you? I wanted it to feel real, said Beth. Beth looked at the ice pack and felt the back of her head, which seemed to have stopped bleeding. You want to know the truth? I wanted this to happen. That's why I came here. Maddie shook her head. Well, I can't empathize. It's clear that I've never gone through what you have. So in the absence of empathy, the best I can offer you is my sympathy. Are you done bleeding? Have you gotten your fill of thrills? Yes to both, said Beth. You'll probably be fine without a bandage, said Maddie. You're lucky it was only this bad. You can stick around if you want to, but try not to do anything too physical. I wouldn't want you to open up that wound and start bleeding everywhere. I think I've had enough for one night, said Beth. I'll see myself out. If you're ready to go, then go, said Maddie. But I don't want you to feel like I'm chasing you out. Beth followed Maddie upstairs. Audible silence. Kyle was waiting for them by the bar. Beth, he said. I'm sorry about the whole, Don't be, said Beth. I had a lot of fun tonight. Me too, said Kyle. You really had me on the ropes there towards the end. In fact, I feel like I couldn't leave this world on a better note. I just thought I'd stick around to see if you, were okay. I was just about to leave too, said Beth. You want to leave together? I'm curious about how well things work. Sure, said Kyle. The two fighters walked out the door of the cafe and walked down the catwalk towards the terminal exits. You're a real fighter, said Kyle. Thanks, said Beth, politely responding to his compliments. Not like me, I mean. You really know what you're doing. Beth smiled. Kyle wasn't just praising her to praise her. He actually noticed her skill. Where'd you learn to fight like that? He said. Beating people like you, said Beth. Ah, said Kyle. I guess I'm just the last of a long line of guys who had no idea what they were doing. Hopefully not the last, said Beth. They reached into the terminal, and Kyle got ready to step out. Hold on, said Beth. Shall we do this together? Kyle blinked. Sure. Alright, on 3. 1, 2. On 3, they both stepped over the threshold. Beth stumbled onto the street and looked around her. Kyle was nowhere to be seen, somehow vanished from existence. Beth looked over her shoulder through the still open door and paused a moment before pulling out her phone to call for a ride. Interesting. If you couldn't tell, this is really... I mean, this is a story about, mortality. I really kind of enjoy these stories. It's a very moody piece for sure. Che came down the stairs and noticed that Kashan was still seated at the counter, staring into a glass of something. It was a mixed drink of some kind, but it didn't look like coffee to Che. You mind company? Said Che, leaning on the seat next to Kashan. By all means, said Kashan. I don't see anyone else using that seat. Well, you might have been using it, said Che, as a buffer. I'm not looking for conversation. I'm stuck in a 7 now. I'm not looking for conversation, said Kashan. But I'm not really looking to avoid it either. That makes 2 of us, said Che. He leaned across the counter and reached down, locating a cup and bottle purely by touch from a familiar nook in the bar. Drinking some water. Goodness gracious. Headphones fell off. Okay, but we're back now. That makes 2 of us, said Che. He leaned across the counter and reached down, locating a cup and bottle purely by touch from a familiar nook in the bar. He poured himself a finger of whiskey, just enough to warm his tongue. Kashan continued staring into his own drink, his expression unwavering. Che shrugged and sampled his own drink, feeling the warmth of the drink as the whiskey spread across his tongue and trickled down his throat. He set the glass down. The next few moments passed in silence as Kashan continued staring into his own glass, and Che absently turned his empty glass on the counter. Excuse me. Kashan finally broke the silence. If you're waiting for me to finish off this drink so you can offer me some of whatever that is, you might be waiting a long time, said Kashan. I wouldn't offer you this, said Che. It's a special bottle, older than I am. Something like that ought to be kept in private, don't you think? Something like that ought to be kept in private, don't you think? Said Kashan. Che shrugged. I have no problem with letting people sample it if they want it. This bottle is a way of never running out. This bottle is a way of never running empty. But a whiskey like this, you don't get it just by sitting there passively. You have to at least take the step of asking for it, because it only gives when people are expecting to get. If I offer it, it won't work. Sounds like you have a bottle that is in the business of filling people's subconscious prophecies, said Kashan. That does seem to be the case, said Che. I try not to think about it. Bad juju. Juju? Is that a real thing here? As real a thing as it here as it is anywhere, said Che. Kashan looked contemplative for a moment. If the bottle is in the business of fulfilling people's expectations, what happens if I expect you to pour me a drink and find the bottle empty? Don't, said Che, cutting him off. Don't even get me thinking about it. Because if I start thinking about it, it might happen. I've got a good thing going here. Don't jinx it. Alright, said Kashan. Sorry if I messed with your mojo. Or juju, whatever it is. I didn't mean to break anything. It's not as fragile as that, said Che. This isn't the first time I've had this conversation. Just, why play with fire if you don't have to, you know? I think I will have some of that whiskey, said Kashan. Lord knows I'm not making any progress with this. He looked at the drink in front of him and pushed it aside. Che smiled and reached behind the counter for another glass, pouring a single finger for Kashan. Kashan took a sip. That's smooth, he said. I know, said Che. They don't make them like they used to. Well, they do, but It'll take a few more decades to get there. Kashan cleared his throat and started coughing. He pounded his chest with his fist and let out a wheeze before settling down. "You all right?" said Che. "Yeah," said Kashan. "I think I'm all right." Whatever rut Kashan had been in when he sat down, he seemed to be out of it by now. There was something about that dry whiskey that had a way of catching people's throats by surprise, and there was something about a coughing fit that had a way of getting butterflies out of the stomach. Maybe it wasn't much, but it was something. Che smiled as he put away the bottle, giving it an affectionate pat as he set it down. One less case of post-mortem depression in the world. Good job, Pappy. Interesting. Okay. Well, I think that's probably going to be it for tonight. I don't think there's anything else to read down here. It's usually just like 3 or so thingies at a time. How do I leave? How do I escape? Oh. Who wants to live forever? Okay, there's one more. Espresso machine's acting up again, Maddie sighed. Why does it have to be like this? It doesn't have to be like this, said Che. You're right, said Maddie. It wasn't always like this. If you travel back in time far enough, you'll find an era when we had a working espresso machine. And if you travel even further back, you'll get to a time when espresso machine... If you travel even further back in time, you'll get to a time when espresso machines didn't exist, said Che. Maddie reached below the counter for the bottle of Chardonnay she had opened that morning. It was half empty. This is the prelude to one of those moments where an old man tells me how lucky we are to have things so easy. Nah, said Che. Things aren't easier. In fact, they're harder. And that's why you need all the modern technology to help deal with them. Che nodded to the wine bottle in Maddie's hand. So are you going to offer me some of that, or just keep squeezing its neck like you're trying to choke it? Maddie began pouring a drink for Che. So what were things like back in the old days? Well, for one thing, you didn't need glasses back then. Glasses are not a new invention, old man. I've seen pictures of Benjamin Franklin. Well, yeah, we had glasses back then. See, I thought they were talking like, never mind, so... Oh yeah, we had glasses back then. But we didn't use them. We drank straight from the bottle. Okay. God damn it, I'm very confused now. Are they talking about spectacles, or are they talking about, like, glasses? Okay, anyway. Har har. No, really, said Che. Glasses are just one more thing to keep track of. One more thing to clean. It's much easier to just pass the bottle back and forth. That might be the case, said Maddie, but I'm sure our patrons appreciate the extra effort that goes into making sure they're always drinking from clean glasses. I'm sure they do, said Che. That's another thing that's changed. Everyone's a connoisseur of whatever they're drinking. Is that you finger-wagging about how young people all have particular tastes? No, said Che. At least, I don't think it is. I guess people are all enjoying the moment. I guess people are all enjoying the present moment more. Back when we drank sock juice, you were just doing whatever it took to get that stimulant into your bloodstream. Ditto for most depressants. Do I want to know what sock juice is? Said Maddie. Because I'm fairly certain I don't. We didn't have coffee filters back then. Oh no, this is awful. We didn't have coffee filters back then, said Che. So you use a sock instead. Don't worry, we always used clean socks whenever they were available. Maddie closed her eyes, looking physically ill. You were saying something about people enjoying the present moment before that thoroughly awful digression about how you made coffee. Holy fuck. Yeah, said Che. I know there's this stereotype about how in modern society no one is ever really present. But if anything, I feel like it's the other way around. Nowadays, people are all about enjoying the present moment. People used to be way more obsessed with where they were going. As in, where they were migrating to? In a matter of speaking, said Che. Let's just say that I'm amazed at how few people these days come in here asking questions about heaven and hell. 100 years ago, if you caught someone on their way out of this world, the first thing they wanted to know was, which place is this? And after they found out they were on a temporary stop at the next place, they'd want to know where it was they were going. There's still plenty of that, said Maddie. Yeah, but a lot less of it, said Che. And you know, I don't think it was a case of people's priorities suddenly changing once they found themselves standing on the precipice. There were people who used to describe themselves as God-fearing. It was just part of life. And now it's not. He shrugged. I guess people found more important things to worry about. There wasn't a lot going on back then. He took a sip of Chardonnay. Good thing I'm going to live forever. Worried you go to hell? Hell yes, said Che. I've done way too much sinning to ever make it into heaven. You're doing more good than ill for the world, said Maddie. Pretty sure that balances it out. You probably have a positive balance. Nah, said Che. I don't think it works like that. I'm pretty sure I'm just a bad person who happens to do good things most of the time. Well, it might not be good enough for heaven, but it's good enough for me, said Maddie. So I guess it's a good thing that you're going to live forever. Aw. What is their dealio? I don't quite know. I feel like we probably have 2 more chapters to go. Maybe if I start stream early tomorrow, I can finish all of them up. But I think for now I'm gonna probably go to sleep. It's late, and I have to get up early, and so on and so forth. So, I hope you all enjoyed, and for people watching on YouTube, I hope you also enjoyed the video. I'll try and put some clips out there and yada yada yada, but for now, I will catch you later. Bye.